Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Do you know this formula? I cannot understand this formula. Are you familiar with this formula? I think this question cannot be solved even with this formula. I think this question cannot be solved even with this formula. Do you like formulas? I'm not bad at memorizing formulas. I'm good at memorizing formulas. Please do not try to memorize all of the formulas, but think yourself logically. Are you good at memorizing formulas? 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 Formula. I memorized many formulas when I was a student. I memorized many formulas at mathematics lessons, classes. I used to memorize a lot of formulas at math class. I memorized many formulas. I memorized many formulas. Formula, 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 formula. I know these lyrics by heart. I know these lyrics by heart. I know this song by heart. I know this song by heart. Please memorize it by heart. Please learn the language by heart. Please learn the idioms by heart first. Please learn the idioms by heart. 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 Please memorize the idioms by heart. Please learn the idioms by heart. I know these lyrics by heart. I learned the idioms by heart. I learned idioms by heart. I learned many things 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 by heart. Do you know these lyrics by heart? Do you know this song by heart? Do you know this place by heart? Do you know these songs by heart? Do you know this song by heart? Do you know this song by heart? I usually learn things by heart. 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 Are you good at learning things by heart? 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 I'm bad at learning things by heart. 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 Do you know how to calculate the volume? Do you know how to calculate the volume? I don't know how to calculate the volume. I think it will be much if you calculate the volume of the container. I don't know how to calculate the volume. Let's ask the teacher. Let's ask our teacher. I don't know how to calculate the volume. The genius man calculated the volume of the container. Do you know how to calculate the volume? 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 How much is the volume after calculating? How much was the volume of the container after calculating? How much was the volume of the container after calculating? Please multiply the length by 10. Please multiply 10 by 5. Please multiply 5 by 5. Please multiply 5 by 5. Please multiply 5 by 5. 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. 10 multiplied by 10 equals to 100. 10 multiplied by 5 is 50. 10 multiplied by 25 is 250. 3 multiplied 3 is 9. 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Could you multiply the figures by 10? Could you multiply the figures by 10? Could you multiply the figure by 10? Could you multiply the number by 10? Could you multiply the figures by 50? I multiply the number by 10. I multiply the number by 10. I multiply the number by 10. The fraud multiply the net price by 5. The fraud multiply the net price by 5 to get more profit. The fraud multiply the net price by 5. Please multiply the number 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 by 10. Please multiply the length by tenth. 10. Please multiply 10 by 5. Please multiply 10 by 5. Please multiply 5 by 10. I multiplied the number by 5. I multiplied the number by 10. I'm sorry, I did not multiply the number by 10. I'm sorry, but I did not multiply the number by 10. I forgot to multiply the number by 10. I really forgot to multiply the number by 10. I forgot to multiply the number by 10. I forgot to multiply the number by 5. I forgot to multiply the number by 5. I forgot to multiply 5 by 10. I forgot to multiply the number by 10. I multiplied the number by 10. She multiplied the price by 10. The cashier multiplied the net price by 2. The cashier multiplied the number by 2. The cashier multiplied the net price by 2. The cashier multiplied the total price by 2. The cashier multiplied the total price by 1.5. The cashier multiplied the total price by 1.5. The cashier multiplied the total price by 2.5. The cashier multiplied the total price by 5. The cashier multiplied the total price of our shopping by 2. The cashier multiplied the total price of our shopping by 5. The cashier multiplied the total price of our shopping by 2. We are inspecting. We are inspecting the product for cracks. We are expecting the product for defects and cracks so that we can ship the product for perfect condition. The engineers are searching for any cracks in the product. The engineers are searching for any cracks in the products so that they can ship the products in perfect condition. Any cracks were not found in the products. Any defects or cracks were not found from the products of the company. Any cracks were not found from the products. Do you like geometry? Do you like geometry? Do you know what is geometry? Do you know what is geometry? Geometry, 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 geometry. Do you know geometry? Do you like geometry? Geometry. Do you like geometry? Geometry. Do you like geometry? Do you like geometry? Do you like geometry? Do you like geometry? Geometry. 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 Are you interested in geometry? I major in geometry at the graduate school. My major was geometry at the graduate school. What is geometry for? What do you study for geometry? What do you study at geometry? What do you study at geometry? What do you study for geometry? Geometry. Do you like geometry? Do you like geometry? Do you like geometry? Do you like mathematics? Something is wrong with this computer. Something's gone wrong with this computer. Something's gone wrong. Something went wrong with him because he became crazy suddenly. Something's gone wrong with him because he doesn't listen to me anymore. Something's gone wrong with her after she drank. Something's gone wrong with her after she got drunk. Something's gone wrong. Something went wrong after she drank a lot of alcoholic beverages. Something is going wrong with this computer. Something is going wrong. It is going wrong. It is going wrong with this machine. It does not produce incorrectly. Something is going wrong with this machine because the products are many defects. The machine is going wrong because the products produced by the machine are a lot of defects. Something is going wrong. Something is going wrong with this machine. Something is going wrong. There is something wrong with this computer machine. Something is going wrong. Something is going wrong. Something is going wrong. Something is going wrong with this machine. Something is going wrong. Something is going wrong with this machine because the products produced by the machine are different from what we used to get. Something is going wrong. Something is going wrong with this machine because the products produced by the machine are not the one as we used to get from the machine. Have you used a microscope? Do you have a microscope at your room? Have you got a microscope? Have you got a microscope? Do you have a microscope in your room? If you look at the object through microscope, you can see it in detail. If you see the object through microscope, you can see it in detail, more closely. Have you got a microscope? Have you got a microscope? Do you have a microscope? If you see the object through the microscope, you can see it in detail. Do you have a barometer? No, I don't have a barometer. Who on earth has barometer? Who on earth has a barometer? Who on earth has a barometer? Who in the world has a barometer? Who on earth has a barometer? Do you have a barometer? No, I don't have a barometer. Where can I buy a barometer? I don't know. You can search for in the internet. You can search in the internet. It sure is. Barometer, 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 barometer. Do you have a barometer? Do you have a barometer? No, I don't have a barometer. Such a minute particle was found. Such a minute criteria was enacted. Such a minute change was made in the policy. Such a minute change was made in the policy, regarding the policy, with respect to the policy, with regard to the policy, regarding the policy. Minute mistake is not allowed for the project. A minute mistake is not allowed in the project. Everything has to be made perfectly to make the project success. She made a minute mistakes. She made a minute mistakes. She made a minute mistake. She made a minute mistake, which most of the audience did not notice. She made a minor mistake, which most of the audience did not notice. The telescope can detect minor light from a distance. The telescope can detect such a minor light from a distance. The telescope can detect subtle light from a distance. The telescope can detect minute light from a distance. The size of the sandwich was minute for me. The size of the sandwich was minute for me. The size of the dress was minute for her. The size of the dress was minute for her. The size of the shoes. The size of the shoes were minute for me. Minute mistake was made by the professional, but most of the audience didn't notice it. Professionals sometimes make a minute mistake. Or even professionals make a minute mistake sometimes. Even professionals make minute mistakes sometimes. Even professionals make minute mistakes sometimes. I'm seeing the tissue, live tissue through the microwave, through microscope. I'm looking at the tissue of the leaves. I'm looking at the tissue of the leaves through microscope. I'm looking at the tissue of the leaves through microscope. I'm looking at the tissue of the leaves through microscope. I'm looking at the tissue of the leaves through the microscope. I'm seeing the tissue of the leaves. I'm seeing the tissue of the leaves through the microscope. I'm looking at the tissue of the leaves through a microscope. I'm seeing the tissue of the leaves through the microscope. I'm seeing the tissue of the leaves through the microscope. What is tissue? Tissue is a collection of cells. Tissue looks very confusing. Tissue looks very complicated. Tissue looks very complicated. Tissue looks very complex. Tissue looks very complicated. Tissue looks very complicated. Tissue looks very complicated. Are you studying about tissue? When you go to doctor school, you have to study about tissue. When you enter the school for medicine, you need to learn about tissue. When you enroll in the school for medicine, you have to study about tissue. Are you familiar with muscle tissue? Are you familiar with muscle tissue? No, I'm not familiar with muscle tissue. Are you birthed with tissue? No, I'm not birthed with tissue. Are you learning about tissue? 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 I'm not learning about tissue. Are you familiar with tissue? Are you familiar with muscle tissue? I'm not familiar with muscle tissue. I cannot understand about tissue. I cannot understand about tissue. I cannot make out about tissue. I cannot figure out about tissue. I'm seeing the cells of the leaves through the microscope. I'm seeing the cells of the leaves through the microscope. Through the microscope, you can see the cells of the leaves clearly. I can see the cells of the leaves clearly through the microscope. Through the microscope, you can see the cells of the leaves clearly. Really? Can I see the cells of the leaves clearly if I use the microscope? Yes, you can. Can I see the cells of the leaves if I use the microscope? Can I see the cells of the leaves clearly if I use the microscope? Can I use the microscope because I want to see the cells of the leaves clearly? If I use this new type of microscope, can I see the cells of the leaves clearly? The mega company composed of 70% of the market share. The mega company composed 70% of the market share of the product. The mega company composed 70% of the products. The mega company composed 70% of share of the product. The company has 50% of market share of the product. The big company composes 50% of the market share of the product. The cabinet member is composed of mostly men. The cabinet members are composed of mostly by men. The cabinet members are composed mostly by men. The cabinet members are composed of mostly men. The cabinet members are composed of mostly men. The cabinet members are composed of men mostly. The team is composed of 9. The team is composed of 5 men and 4 women. The team is composed of 5 men and 4 women. The team is composed of 10 men and 8 women. The company is composed of 8,000 employees. The company is composed of 8,000 employees. The company is composed of 8,000 employees. The company is composed of 3,000 men and 4,000 women. Foreign-born employees compose 50% of the company. Foreign-born employees compose 50% of the workforce in the company. Foreign-born employees compose 50% of the workforce in the company. The company is composed of 10,000 employees. The company is composed of 10,000 employees. The company is composed of 2 headquarters and 10 branch offices. in the world. The company is composed of 2 headquarters in Tokyo and Osaka and 10 branch offices in the world. The company is composed of 1 headquarters in Tokyo and 46 branch offices in every prefecture in Japan. I will go on a diet from tomorrow, so I eat a lot today. I will go on a diet from tomorrow. I will go on a diet from tomorrow. I will go on a diet from tomorrow, so I eat a lot today. She is going to go on a diet from next week, so she is eating a lot now. She is going to go on a diet from tomorrow. She is going to go on a diet this year to lose 5 kilograms in total by the end of the year. She is going to go on a diet this year. She is going to go on a diet this year. She is going to go on a diet this year. She is going to go on a diet this year. Are you going to go on a diet too? Have you gone on a diet? 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 I've just gone on a diet. 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 Are you going to go on a diet? Are you going to go on a diet? Are you going to go on a diet? Are you going on a diet? Are you going on a diet? Are you going to go 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 on a diet? I went on a diet last week, but I gave in to the temptation of eating. I went on a diet last week, but I gave in. I gave in to the appetite. Are you gentle? Are you gentle? I want someone gentle. I want to be friends with someone gentle. I want to make friends with someone with gentle temper. Is he gentle? Is she gentle? Is she gentle? Is he gentle? Are they gentle? Is our boss gentle? Is your boss gentle? Is your boss gentle? Is the boss gentle? Is the boss gentle? Is the boss gentle? How old is your nephew now? How old is your nephew now? My nephew is 5 years old now. How old is your nephew? Do you have a nephew or a niece? Do you have a nephew or a niece? How old is your nephew now? When I went to his house, he was maybe 7 years old, but now he is almost 20. How old is your nephew? 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 Do you have a 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 nephew? Are you considerate? Please be considerate to everyone. Please be considerate to everyone. He pretends to be considerate to everyone, just in front of his boss. He pretends to be he is considerate to everyone, only in front of his boss. He makes believe that he makes believe that he is considerate to everyone, only in front of his boss. He makes believe he is considerate to everyone, only in front of his boss. Only in front of his boss. He makes believe 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 that he is considerate to everyone, only in front of his president. Are you considerate? Are you considerate? Considerate. 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 Are you considerate? Are you considerate? Are you considerate? The human resources of the company is searching for candidates with considerate temper. The human resources of the company is searching for candidates who are considerate, not only have many skills. The human resources of the company is searching for candidates who are considerate, not only skillful at everything. The human resources of the company is searching for candidates who are not only skillful, but also considerate to everyone. My folks cannot speak English. My folks cannot speak English. My folks cannot understand English at all. My folks cannot understand Spanish at all. My folks haven't been abroad yet. My folks haven't been abroad yet. Have your folks been abroad? Have your folks been abroad? Have your folks been to foreign countries? My folks have been abroad once. Have your folks been abroad? Have your folks been to foreign countries? Have your folks met my parents? Have your folks met the parents of your husband? Have your folks met your parents? Have your folks met the parents of your boyfriend? Have your folks met the parents of your fiancé? Have your folks met the parents of your partner? Have your folks met the parents? Have your folks met the folks of your fiancé? My folks cannot understand English at all. Some old people say, I want to see your folks, when he or she behaves bad. When he or she behaves bad, the opponent tends to say, the old opponent tends to say that that he or she wants to see your folks. Old people tend to say, I want to see your folks, when he or she behaves bad. Some old people used to say that he or she wanted to see our folks when she or he behaved bad. Where are your folks now? My folks are working now. On looking at her for the first sight, I took to her. On looking at her appearance, I took to her. As soon as the artist arrived at the airport, many people took to him. As soon as he got the lottery, many women took to him. As soon as he got the lottery, many women took to him. As soon as he got the lottery, many women took to him. As soon as he got the lottery, many women took to him. When I was a kindergarten student, I took to video games. When I ate natto, fermented soybeans, for the first time, I did not like the taste, but soon after, I took to it. When I ate natto, or fermented soybeans, for the first time, I did not like the taste, but soon after I got used to the taste, I took to it. I'm taking to her. Do you take to her? Will you take to her? Will you take to him? Did you take to it? Did you take to your job? Can 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 you take to your job? I think I cannot take to my job, so I'm going to change my job, if possible. Can you take to this job? Can you take this routine job? Can you take to this routine job? Routine work. By a first look at the woman, I took to her. After a glance at her, I took to him, I took to her. On seeing her appearance for the first time, I took to her. She is not so much a teacher as a nurse. She is not so much wise as clever. She is not so much clever as wise. She is not so much wise as clever. She is not so much awesome as crazy. She is not so much crazy as whites. This menu is not so much awesome as exorbitant. This restaurant is not so much expensive as exorbitant. This restaurant is not so much expensive as exorbitant. This watch is not so much expensive as exorbitant. The price of the watch is not so much expensive as crazy. You should judge not so much by the price as by the sound and quality. You should judge not so much by the price as by the quality of the products. You should judge the product not so much by the price as by the quality. You should judge the product not so much by the price as by its quality. It counts that you are prepared for that perfectly enough. It counts that you are prepared for the examination enough. It counts that you should be at the destination 2 hours before the departure of your flight. It counts very much that you should be at the international airport 2 hours, at least 2 hours before the departure of your flight. It counts that you be at the destination, at the international airport, at least 2 hours before the departure of your flight. It counts that you be at the international airport at least 2 hours before the departure of your flight. It counts that you be at the airport at least 2 hours before the departure of your flight. Arriving at the international airport at least 2 hours before the departure of your flight is very important. It counts. Arriving at the destination before your boss arrives is it counts very much in Japan. Arriving at the destination before our boss arrives very counts in Japan. It counts that new employees arrive at their office before their boss does. Does it count? Does it count to study every day? Of course. Does it count to prepare for the examination enough? Of course. Does it count to study English every day? Of course. It counts to make a daily effort because the amount we can do in a day is limited. So to make it such a big effort, we have to stack up small effort every day. Does it count to study every day? Does it count that we be at the destination 5 minutes before the departure of the train? It might take more to get on the train, so it counts that you be at the train station 20 minutes before the departure of the train. It counts that you be at the international airport 2 hours before the departure of your flight. Okay? Okay? Wearing coat and scarf. Wearing a coat and scarf counts in winter. Wearing a scarf and coat counts in winter. It counts and recommended to wear a coat and a scarf tomorrow. Having first-hand experience counts. Having first-hand experiences counts. Having a first-hand experience counts. Having first-hand experiences count. It counts that you have more first-hand experiences. It counts that you should have more first-hand experience. It counts that you experience more first-hand experiences. Do not exclaim here. Do not exclaim here. Do not exclaim in public places. Some people exclaim in public places. Some rude people exclaim even in public places. Someone was exclaiming in the cafe. Someone was exclaiming in the cafe. Someone was exclaiming in the cafe. Someone was exclaiming, "I'm a Superman," in the cafe. Someone was exclaiming, "I'm a superhero," in the cafe. Someone was exclaiming something I cannot understand on the road. What were you exclaiming? When he won the race, he was exclaiming with joy. When he won the race, he was exclaiming with joy, with please. When he won the race, he was exclaiming. 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 What? Why are you exclaiming? Some singers exclaim during the singing. Some singers exclaim and shout during the singing. Do you exclaim during singing? Do you exclaim while you are singing? The student exclaimed, "I do pass the examination this year." The student exclaimed, "I passed the entrance examination this year." As my parents put it, it is not a good idea to swim in the sea in winter. As the locals put it, it is very dangerous to swim in the river. As the locals put it, it is very dangerous to swim in the river. There are many crocodiles in the river. As the locals put it, it is very dangerous to swim in the river. As the locals put it, it is very dangerous to swim in the river. As our teacher put it, studying is very important in all our life. As our teacher put it, studying is very important in all our lives. As our teachers put it, making a daily effort is very important. As our teacher put it, studying counts. As the locals put it, it is very dangerous to swim in the sea. As our teacher put it counts to study in all our lives. As our teacher put it, studying is very important. As our teacher put it, studying counts in all our lives. As our teacher put it, studying is very important. As our teacher put it, studying counts. As the locals put it, we should not take the detour. As the locals put it, we should not take the route, because it is very dangerous. As the locals put it, we should not take the shortcut. As the locals put it, we should not take the route. As the locals put it, we should not go to the area. As the locals put it, we should be prepared for the long travel enough. As the locals put it, we should be prepared for the long journey enough. As the locals put it is very dangerous to swim in the sea. As the locals put it, we should not take the detour. As the locals put it, we should not take the shortcut. Are you a self-made man? A self-made man will get more praise than those who inherited their fame from their parents. Are you a self-made man? Are you a self-made man? A self-made man or woman will get more praise because many commoners will have sympathy for them. I want to be a self-made man. I want to be a self-made man. I want to be a self-made person. I want to be a self-made person. You are not a self-made person. You got many support from others. Are you a self-made man? Is he a self-made man? Is the CEO self-made man? Is the Chief Executive Officer a self-made person? Is the CEO a self-made man? Is the Chief Executive Officer a self-made person? Is he a self-made person? Is he a self-made person? No, he is not a self-made person. He just has a title. Self-made. Are you a self-made person? 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 Self-made. 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 I want to be a self-made person. I want to be a self-made woman. I want to be a self-made man. I want to be a self-made person. She is not a self-made woman. She is not a self-made person. I am not also a self-made person. I'm actually In practice, I am a self-made person. In practice, she is a self-made person. Self-made. Are you a self-made person? Are you a self-made person? Are you a self-made person? Self-made. Are you a self-made person? Are you a person of vision? Are you a person of vision? The boss was a person with vision, of vision. So the company recovered from the recession soon. Our CEO has a person of vision. So our company recovered from the recession soon. Some companies are thriving because the CEO of the companies have the vision. Some companies are thriving because the CEOs of the companies have the vision. Do you have a vision? To look into the future, to predict the future. Do you have the vision to predict the future? Do you have the vision for future? The CEO of Vision made the company recover from the recession fast. The new CEO of the Vision made the company recover from the recession fast, quickly. The entrepreneur of Vision made the company recover within 3 months. The entrepreneur with vision made the company recover from the recession within half a year. The CEO of the company doesn't have a vision, so I guess the company will decrease and decrease. The sales figures of the company will decrease more and more. Since the CEO of the company does not have a vision and stick to old fashion, so I think the sales figures of the company will decrease more and more. Is your CEO have vision? Is your CEO a person of vision? Is your CEO person of vision? Is your CEO a person of vision? Is your president of the company a person of vision? Is your president a person of vision? Are you a person of vision? Some companies are thriving because the CEOs of the companies are people with vision. Are you a person with vision? Are you a kind of person with vision? I want to make good. Everyone makes good. Everyone wants to make good. Everybody wants to make good. Everyone wants to make good. But little people make good. I guess this is because little people make daily effort. Little people make endless effort. That's why little people succeed or achieve something huge. Can you make an endless effort? Everybody wants to make good. Everyone wants to make good. But not many people make good. Because they cannot make endless effort. Many people want to make good. Many people want to make good. Do you also want to make good? Do you also want to make good? Would you like to make good? Would you like to make good? Would you like me to make good? I would like you to make good. I would like you to make good. I would like everyone to make good. I would like everyone make good. I would like everyone to make good. I want everyone to make good. I want 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 everyone make good. I want everyone to make good. I want everyone to make good. I want everyone to make good. Do you want to make good? 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 I want to make good. I'd like to make good. I would like to make good. I'm eager to make good. I'm excited to make good. I'm anxious to make good. I'm anxious to make good. I'm eager to make good. I'm anxious to make good. I'm excited to make good. I'm excited to make good. I would like to make good. Make good. May you make good. May you make good. May you make good. Keep in mind that life is not eternal. Keep in mind that studying is very important. Bear in mind that studying is very important. Bear in mind that taking the route is very dangerous. Bear in mind that not every Japanese eats sushi every day. Keep in mind that Japanese people does not eat sushi every day. Keep in mind that there are no samurais anymore in Japan. Bear in mind that there are no samurais in Japan anymore. Keep it in mind that there are no ninjas in Japan anymore. Bear in mind that there are no ninjas in Japan anymore. The bride and groom vowed eternal love at the wedding ceremony. The bride and groom vowed eternal love at the wedding ceremony. I hope the promise will be not broken. The bride and groom vowed eternal love each other at the wedding ceremony. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.